the beginning, there was nothing. And then there was the Drunken Peasants Podcast.
I gotta get a witness. No!
Say, man, you got a joint? No, not on me, man.
I don't have facts to back this up.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
That's true. Sometimes I cry.
Oh! Lick my butthole, he laughed.
From the strangest corners of the internet, here to bring you opinions of the world from an altered perspective. Here are your hosts, the Drunken Peasants.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to a very special episode of the Drunken Peasants Podcast. You know those 80s and 90s sitcoms where they're like, a very special episode of Blossom?
Yeah, it's usually when there's drugs involved.
Well, there's always drugs involved here, so we gotta shake it up a little bit. And by the way, I just noticed, because I've been so busy setting up everything, that we need to update this tip goal really quick, because we might get a couple tips during this stream here. So let me no one send any yet.
Everybody hold your donos in for 44 seconds.
Wow, you're putting a lot of pressure on me.
Start throwing all the donos in, but it's got to be after 44 seconds. Any donos that come in the next 37 seconds
Blam, ready.
will not be counted. There we go.
There we go. So we're going to do a short show here. We're going to cover Sturgis because he is the gift that keeps on giving. And we'll get to that because the last several days have been great. Even right after our stream where we were watching him live, the stuff that happened after that, like after our stream ended, was hilarious in of itself. And then my exchanges with him on Twitter, also known as X, amazing. But I do want to mention, after this stream is over, we're going to do our Patreon private show, Actual Mania 46 Summer Scam. And I have provided... It is on. I have provided a link. It's the first link at the top of the description if you want to sign up. It's $5. We'll talk a little more about it before we go into it, but it's $5 on Patreon. Summer Scam. It's going to be crazy. I will be defending my world championship against the Star Spangled Luchador. Finally, in a one-on-one match, we got Egged lurking in the wings, waiting to cash in his currency in the account. It's going to be a crazy time. Lots of blood, sweat, and tears. You don't want to miss it. Follow the link in the description if you want to see that. All right, so after
blood, sweat, and tears.
Yes. So following our stream, because we covered Sturgis a little bit and had a good chuckle at him. Then we did the rest of our show and ended the stream. And while I was uploading the audio version of the show to go out there on all the audio platforms, I was watching Sturgis stream, and he was playing Jackbox games with like a couple people, 2 or 3 people, and he had it set to where, like, in order to play Jackbox, you had to log in to your Twitch account, and if he had you banned, you couldn't join. Because I was trying to join when I saw the key come on. I was about to join, but it just didn't happen. Clever guy, that Sturgis. Well, not really. Not really at all. But here's a few cool screenshots. Like here he is falling asleep. We must have been keeping his stream interesting for him. Because
when we ignored him, he just went to sleep?
Yeah, he was fighting to stay awake for the rest of his stream.
You think he's using opiates or something?
No.
Heroin?
He's using dopiates.
Okay.
Yes.
Hope he's not nodding off because he's dope sick.
Here he is. Actually, I think Eric July's standing behind him, pumping him a little bit. I think that might be.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I think this was from his Chatterbait stream that he did later that evening. Look at this one too. This is when Eric is standing in front of him.
Are those pec muscles?
Those are not pec muscles.
What is he smuggling? pizza dough in his shirt? What's going on there?
Yeah, and partially under his armpits too. He's got that man titty that like grows up under his arms. He's
I've seen like a D cup. This is like a derp cup or something. Something's going on with his chest.
I know for a fact
pudding cup
that someone tweeted this at him and he blocked them, which is funny.
Oh no!
But then when I tweeted at him, he acts like he doesn't care. I did end up getting under his skin though, and we'll get to that because he did block me for a little while. Now he tries to pretend like this didn't happen. Like he was like, "You're not blocked." It's like, yeah, because you unblocked me, loser.
Damn.
Yeah, but here's another funny thing that I noticed. Because we have a Twitter account that we only use to look at things on Twitter. And I know I keep dead naming Twitter, but I refuse to call it X. It's such a dumb name. I
think you're still allowed to call it Twitter.
X is a pretty badass 1980s punk band. Where the singer of the band X was married to Viggo Mortensen. Little trivia there.
Oh, really? I didn't know Viggo Mortensen was gay.
It's a woman.
I didn't know the singer of X was a woman.
So we have this other Twitter account that I only use to look at things on Twitter while we're streaming. I've never promoted it or even mentioned what the account is, but obviously you can see it when it's on screen. And he somehow blocked this, but he claims he doesn't watch us. So how did he figure this out? How did he know to block this one?
Do we have a mole? Is there a mole?
I doubt it.
Wow. What's going on?
Sturgis, how could you? Well, that's fine. I just created a new one. It's called Sturgis Moobs.
Is that him mispronouncing the word boobs?
That's what we call man boobs. Moobs.
Oh, those are moobs, huh?
Yeah.
It looks like he's howling to the moon, the moob moon.
Yeah. I had so much went on here. Like they were trying to claim they do this weird projection where they're like, "Oh, you're like this. This is how you are," and they have no reason for saying so. They said I was like 5'2", and I'm like, I'm 5'8", about the same height as Eric July, and they're like, "No, Eric July's way taller than that, man." And I'm like, okay, well. Here it says Gina Carano is 5'8", and here's a picture of Eric July next to Gina Carano, about the same height. And they're like, well, he's not standing up all the way, and she's probably wearing heels. It's like, well, her legs are bent too, so she's not standing up tall
she's
either.
She's definitely bent at the knee.
Right.
She's got her like puffy hoo-ha leaned into him too.
Right.
That takes away an inch of her neck is off kilter. Like they do that meme where they draw the straight line and the diagonal line up people. They're both kind of diagonal. They're both leaning tower of pizza.
Yeah, so and he was
calling
trying
him 5'8" is fairly asinine.
It's really not. It's really
Sorry,
not.
you're rocking nearly 200 pounds on a 5'8" frame, though.
Yeah. It's funny because they really want me to be attractive to them before they'll take me seriously. But for some reason...
They're attracted to Eric July.
Well, then you'd think, like, when Big Diesel keeps tweeting at these guys, they just ignore him. And he's, more muscular and bigger than Eric
he
July.
doesn't look like a fucking garden gnome like Eric July does.
Funny. That's funny. That's funny because, like...
They're into gnomes. They probably get little boners for Eric July. They probably get little boners for David the Gnome. They probably get little boners for Noam Chomsky. They're little gnomers.
The things I say, I still try to have I still try to make them exist within reality. And if I want to make an insult, I'll form it as a question. So I'm not really assuming anything. And that's all they have. They're like, yeah, he's really standing straight, not leaning, and she always wears flat shoes. It's like, okay, did I say she always wore flat shoes? We don't see what shoes she's wearing, so you don't know what fucking shoes she's wearing. That doesn't mean she always wears flat shoes, but they're comparable height. Gina Carano is a larger than average woman. She was an MMA fighter. She was like the badass woman on The Mandalorian. She's a larger woman, and Eric July is not that much larger than her. There's a picture of them standing next to each other.
Yeah, I don't form my disses in reality. If I want to say Eric July is 5'1", I'll do it. Now, if somebody were to say that about me, if they were to lie about my height and say I was 5'4", if they were to change my IMDb page, I would hate that. But I don't mind doing it about other people.
Cool. You're such a rebel. Yeah, so it's this like, oh, they keep showing me pictures of him next to other people. My picture doesn't matter because we don't see the shoes and they're not standing up straight or whatever, but I'm supposed to take this picture as evidence.
Which one's Gabe?
Gabe is the tallest guy.
He's 6'4" or so?
Yeah.
Do we know Gabe's full name? Can we look up his height? Can we...
I think he's
him standing to other people.
Well, he's the guy. I think he's the guy that you were like, oh, he works with
is
a
he
fat.
The fat shit that does the drawing.
Yeah.
So let's go. I'm gonna search for fat shit that draws Isom.
You'll find him right away.
Yeah. Illustrator. Is 6'4" or so. Shut the fuck up.
Or so.
I say I'm 6'4" or so.
Oh, we can't see their shoes, though. How do we know Eric isn't wearing, like, stilettos?
Eric's standing on a box.
I used the standing on a box thing earlier. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm not finding anything about Gabe other than that he lies about his height. He's a known liar, a height liar.
And
he draws pictures.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, and I said, and Gina is closer to his height. Maybe Eric can use Jesus dick energy. You know.
Circumcised?
Jesus dick energy. And then they do the, like, you're mad thing. They do that a lot, too. You're mad.
You just gotta stop getting mad, then they'll have nothing to say.
Oh.
I'm finding nothing about this fellow's height. He might be 7 feet tall for all we know. Gina Carano, though, definitely 5'8".
Yeah, that's one thing about being a professional fighter. They have your height and weight. You know, it's like documented officially. Let's see. So I kind of went back and forth with this guy for a little while because the thing about Sturgis is that he's a coward and he'll tag his little buddies like Rippaverse Goalpost and this Bruce guy in so that they can try to come after me. I haven't seen Rippaverse in a little while, though. Funny how that works. It's almost like he was told to ignore me or something.
Of course, he was told to ignore other people, too.
Yeah. Everyone liked the stream, too, by the way. We haven't said that yet. Please give the stream a like. Pretty much sums it up right here. I also made fun of these fools for the Isom and his Jesus junk power. And I said, why are you so obsessed with the character's junk? And I said, you still haven't explained why it's there. And there was a point where they were like, so what if the powers come from something holy? I'm like, well, that's just very uncreative. It just sounds like Eric July is just injecting himself into his own story, and this is just a stealth way of preaching Christianity to people instead of a good comic.
Look, he's the Lord Almighty. He could do anything. Why not make a fucking self-obsessed superhero the new Jesus?
The hilarious thing is they haven't presented even remotely an original or genuine talking point and feel owed something. This is all regurgitated shit we've seen since Isom released a year ago. Must be angry because he sweats getting the mail.
Did you get the mail?
Questions tend to get asked multiple times when answers aren't given. Because they never give an answer. They respond to a genuine question with an insult, and that does nothing to answer the question. Tell me why you think Isom is good. Tell me why you think Isom is good. Tell me why I'm wrong.
Because the Lord gave him his powers?
Gang, gang. Gang, gang.
Gang, 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 gang.
Even they know that that's probably what it's going to be. So now they're already kind of defending, like, well, what's wrong with that?
Ice cream so good, gang, gang.
Yeah, here it is. If his powers were hypothetically somewhat holy based, what's the problem anyway? I said it's lazy, uncreative, and just seems more like Eric injecting more of himself into the story rather than coming up with something original. The dialogue of every character in the first book reads like an Eric July tweet. I'm going to laugh if he actually has Jesus powers.
A follow-up from Saturday's show, we had your favorite son on the show.
Yep.
We talked to him for a long time. Boglum Chronicles says, I really wanted to turn the doc into maybe a 30-minute watch, but I'm not going to do it without his permission. If we can reach out to him and get his permission, I think that'd be a great idea. And I will say this, Boglum Chronicles, I think you should do it anyways. Cut it down to a 30-minute watch, make it transformative. He's got other footage. If he wants to do a Snyder cut of the thing, he could do it too. Tear that shit down to a 30-minute watch. Get that. I think that it would probably pick up more steam at 30 minutes and it'd probably help him out. Cut it down.
After I talked about, how it's lazy writing and what I think of it, he did so you didn't they have a meme to accuse people of not reading the book.
So you didn't read the book? Damn, got us. Bible Man 2.0, people are saying.
That's basically what he's going towards.
Bible Man, such a good series. You had the guy who wasn't in charge in Charles in Charge, and he was basically Batman with powers based on the Bible, right? It was Jesus meets Batman. What was his actual powers? Do we know Bible Man's powers?
I don't know. I'm talking about the Isom stuff right now, so I don't know anything about Bible Man.
Well, since we were comparing him to Bible Man.
Yeah, so Honest Red, he kind of jumped in too. Oh, yeah, because there's the whole, him trying to breathe supercut. We watched that, right? Where Sturgis is trying to breathe. He's like... So, Sturgis did his, I don't get winded, bud. Nice fantasy you have there. But he was doing it during his entire Jackbox stream.
He wasn't winded. He just couldn't breathe.
Oh. He was being choked. I'm sorry I don't appease your standards of streams, considering there is this thing called a sleep schedule. You've probably never heard of one. Does that indicate I've never heard of a sleep schedule, or that you don't know how to keep one, or you bore yourself so much that you can't stay awake during your own stream? I have to be blackout drunk to pass out on stream, or doing a 24-hour stream or something like that.
I got to tell you, Ben, he's fucking owning the shit out of you.
Oh no.
He knows you don't sleep. He knows you don't breathe. I'm
5'2", I'm 700 pounds. I live with my mom and dad. Yeah. How does he keep winning?
Sucks to be you,
I wish
Ben.
I was that delusional where if I didn't like someone, I could just pathologically create whatever narrative I want in my own mind about them, and then I'm just right. It's kind of beautiful.
They're saying that Sturgis is claiming you don't wipe well either.
Oh, yeah?
That's what I'm reading.
Is he challenging me to the butthole challenge?
And I'm reading that Bible Man could put up a better fight against Spawn than Isom could.
So,
they're saying you have to change your name to Ben walking around with a dirty butt. That's messed up, guys.
So I did this, I basically, because he was doing this, you're fatter than me, when he's got he acts like you and me are the same person. Like we're like one in the same.
Why would he think differently?
I don't, because he's obviously watched our streams. He found out what our Twitter address was that we use on the show that we don't even promote.
Yeah, but he's a fucking idiot.
Oh yeah. That's what we're showcasing here. That's what we're showcasing here. So it's because my face is fatter than his, but like his entire face is covered with this really long beard that you could smuggle like 10 chins underneath if you needed to. And he does have the flabby arms and moobs.
I think he's take his shirt off and show us his belly.
He's going to be like, "You're gay, man. You asked me to take my shirt off."
And if I was gay, I still want to see
So
his
you're
shirt
gay, bud.
off his body. I want to see that belly jiggle. People are suggesting you could smuggle 3 copies of Isom under his chins. I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, I mean, well, how thick do you think it is? Like,
He just needs to shave his beard and show off his fucking bare belly.
Dude.
And then we can get over this.
there's older videos on his channel where he doesn't have the long beard and he had a weak chin like even in his late teens. We watched the one video, he's like, "I'm probably 18 in this video."
See, I don't like making fun of this guy's physical features because his brain is so bad. His
do.
mental capacity.
Well,
is
I'll tell you why
way
I.
better
Okay, well, I'll tell you why I do. Because he started doing it first and acted like it mattered, and I don't go around talking trash about people's appearances unless they decide to do it first.
I know you are, but what am I? I know you are, but what am I? That's his entire tactic.
Exactly.
I know you are, but what am I?
R.I.P. Pee Wee Herman. R.I.P. So yeah, maybe he's just a huge Pee Wee fan. He's just trying to.
R.I.P. to Angus Cloud from Euphoria too. Damn, 25 years old. R.I.P. R.I.P. Wee.
He says, "I call you fat because 1, you're fat, and 2, you get so butthurt about it because Alec July doesn't debate fat, so that's why I do it. You get so mad when I say it as well as bring up numbers, so I'll just continue to get under your skin like I do." This is when I started to be like, all right, it's go time.
Tell us about it, Ben. Tell us how you got him.
Oh, dude, just wait. So
You're low T, dude.
I'm low
Ben,
T?
You're low T.
Well, basically, his point here is that if you don't have a long beard, you can't grow one because you're low T. Like, anyone who doesn't have a long beard is low T, and it's not that they choose to not have one, it's just like they just can't. Otherwise, they would just have one.
We all know I'm low T. I can't grow shit on my face.
And then he did the facts don't care about your feelings, which is literally his MO. His whole thing is like, well, I think this about you, therefore it's true. And then this was, I kept asking him, "Do you live with your mom and dad?" And he wouldn't answer it for a while. And then he's like, "Oh, you're projecting onto me." It's like, what? He literally that's all they've got is like assuming things about people they don't like because they can't defend their fandom for Isom. So then I said, I don't project like you do. You're not smart enough to know the difference. I just ask questions. My next question is, are they by any chance first cousins or full-on brother and sister? Just trying to figure
His
some
parents,
things
right?
out. Yeah, his parents. Yes. And then that's when he blocked me. So then I posted the, but I'm the one who's butthurt and mad. And then he came back. It's funny
He
because
you to come back.
yeah, he said it's funny because you're not blocked. It's like, yeah, but I was blocked. Like I was.
Got him. I blocked him only to call him a liar about blocking him when I unblocked him. That's next level, dude. He made you look like a buffoon. I overestimate this Sturgis guy. I think he's a genius. I think he's next level. I think we live like rent free, or he lives rent free in our head. I don't know what the kids say. Whatever the chud alt-right people say, that's all him. He's the Chad meme. He's the big goofy doofus Chad meme. He's better than all of us. He reads ISOM unlike us. We just judge it without reading it. He's a brilliant genius. I don't know why he thought we were punching down. He's so much better than us. As he's said time and time again, we're fat, he's fit. The only thing he's ever gotten wrong is saying that we were punching down. He's so much better than we are.
Yeah. Yeah, then there was a little more of that. I do have a video that he made too. Here it is.
Hello everyone, I am Renown Zero, and we're back again talking about Rippaverse detractors as we get ever so closer to the estimated fulfillment start date, which is tomorrow, July 31st, as of recording this video. The ISOM number 2 campaign is currently sitting, as we'll do a quick refresh, sitting at $2.078 million with 11,320 cover A sold, 11,729 cover B sold, 3,722 cover C sold, which is the cover of ISOM number 2 drawn by Shane Davis. Shout out to Shane Davis. I got to meet him yesterday, and of course I picked up the con exclusive Starlight Cats cover and Inglorious Rex covers that he had for sale. I also got to meet up again with Cecil and meet Irene, who did the poster that I will show you
Come
here.
on, Irene.
Which is this one. She did this poster for the Rippaverse right here, so go ahead and pick that up if you wish to do so. 1,943 cover D sold with over 2,000 books donated to charity, 17,241 total purchasers. So, on Friday, the DP crew decided they were going to try to troll me on my Twitch stream and my Kick stream.
We didn't try, it worked. You were distracted the whole time. It took you like 20 minutes to even start playing the game because you were all concerned about what was going on. I mean, like, it's all documented on video. But he calls it harassment, too. It's very strange because he acts like he's winning over us and that he's so cool and we suck. He even said, my fans think I'm better than you. He literally
His mom always said he was cool.
Yeah.
Which I simulcast 6 days a week, Monday through Friday and Sunday. So they felt like they were going to send their little trolls over to my channels and, of course, talk a bunch of crap. You can see it here from Drunken Peasants all the way down to the bottom here, right? So let me just quickly move myself down so that you are able to see them talking a bunch of noise all in here. But
dude, why?
Little do they.
He's always
why
like,
does he live rent free in our heads?
I have evidence that you harass me. He literally says this shit.
I do not care what they do. They're never going to stop me from talking about them, which I haven't really talked about them in quite a bit. They decided they were going to do this
so close
on
to
their
stopping him.
own. They claim that they're not going to. That their fans claim that they're not telling them to go to my channels and try to harass me. Which, by the way, that doesn't work on me.
Someone typing in your chat is not harassment unless they're like leaking your address or like threatening to harm you physically or that kind of thing. Them just being like, you suck is not harassment. Okay? Like, I have to wonder how old he is. How old do you think he is? Like mid-20s or something? Late 20s?
I'd say he's probably 26 to 29.
Because he has this very weird view of things that only someone that was born maybe like mid to late 90s would have.
I don't think his view, like he could be 40, like for like. How old do you think he was in that video you watched from? Was it 10 years ago? The oldest video.
I think it was 18 or something, or at least he said. But
you remember when that was uploaded?
Because like views and followers and likes and all that shit means so much to him, to the point where he can't even really understand what matters more out of this whole sphere when you're doing this sort of thing. And
he doesn't understand much, though.
I know.
I'm a grown ass man.
He's a grown ass man, Ben.
You don't care.
You decided to make this weirdo leftist meme about me.
I didn't make it. Big Diesel made it. The guy who you ignore because he's all ripped and muscular, which is weird because that's the only person you said you wanted to talk to. But
Big Diesel looks more like Isom than Isom does. Big Diesel's the real superhero.
He does this like he's doing the left can't meme thing, which is just a cop out so that they can dismiss any memes that anyone that they perceive more to the left than them makes.
Again, you can't meme.
Seems like it works pretty.
Meme.
You can't meme. I'm not going to explain why. It's just like a rule, okay? It's like gravity.
We watched them do the stupid meme game on his live stream.
Yeah.
And one of them was just like a picture of somebody who looked like they were a little kid talking about their papa's pee-pee being too big.
Yes.
It was weird.
Terrible at it. You just need to quit. But let's go ahead to your Social Blade and see what that did for you. Oh, absolutely nothing.
Oh my God. I like how he directly correlates us making fun of him with like anything that happens on Social Blade. Let's see what that did for you.
Keeps your subscribers stagnant. Your views are down. And you gain absolutely nothing.
Oh no! No!
Continue to do it. It doesn't help you in any way. It just
it helps.
Me. Sure, there ain't any growth here.
Dude, okay. When you have he doesn't even understand how Social Blade works, which is funny. Like they can only round up to the nearest, like I think at his level 10 subscribers. So he's not going to show, this is his stats. They're not going to show anything until he gets 1,040 subs. So it's only going to show in increments of 10. And then when he gets over 10,000, it's only going to show in increments of 100. And then when you get over 100,000, they're going to only going to show in increments of 1,000. Because YouTube rounds it off. They used to do it in real time, number by number, but they got rid of that. So
Man has 1,000 subscribers. This is Gideo Game Gold.
That's fine. I'm okay with that. I've got some growth here, which is pretty good. It's actually 30 subs in 1 day is actually very good for me. I haven't put out a video in 2 days, so not really expecting my views to be super high.
He's always he brings up the numbers to bolster why he's so amazing, but then makes all these weird excuses. He probably has a closet full of participation trophies.
But continue to do what you're doing, because all it does is make you look terrible. It makes your fan base look terrible, and it makes me look better. And as I always say, do not interact or communicate in any way, shape, or form with these people or their fans. Let them be. And
see, this is bullshit. You know that when you put someone in a video, if people want to go say something to the person you're featuring in your video, they're going to do it. You saying not to do it is just pointless.
No, his fans listen to him, Ben.
Oh.
They're not like our unruly fans.
I see.
Let them continue to make themselves look stupid. So now we're going to jump over to the Ripper vs. Goalpost Twitter account, where we're going to listen to a couple videos, going to commentate, and then we're going to get into one of the bigger detractors that Eric July has.
Oh, you mean you're not going to cover what we actually said and like talk about it and respond to it?
He hasn't done that for a while.
I know.
The return of the bald-headed wench. let's start here with Saggy Melon's Archives, talking about how actual fandom is an actual grifter.
Huh, funny how you're watching this video.
Like, what? Like,
Saggy
dumb.
Melons?
The fact that you did this and thought nobody was gonna catch you, you're fucking dumb. Explosive, how you did.
Let's go ahead. Do this.
Oh, okay. I was like,
Like, what?
Is the
like,
bog
you're dumb.
disc writing?
The fact that you did this and thought nobody was gonna catch you, you're fucking dumb. Explosive, how these YouTubers are actually making kids less safe. How the fuck is a YouTuber who has 2,000 fucking subs on my best fucking like on a good video I would be lucky to get 1,000 views on, right? How the fuck am I making kids less safe?
I have no idea what this is even pertaining to. He didn't explain anything here.
Explain. Why can't you explain it without a paywall?
Explain, Sturgis. Explain what's going
Because they
on.
know
Why
it's
can't
not
you explain?
True. And actual fandom really is the actual grifter and the actual ankle biter of more successful channels like Eric July.
Like my hero, Eric July.
He sounds like he's got a jar of Eric July farts.
Yes.
And he just scoops them out with a caviar spoon and subtly savors them every night
He
as
wants
a treat before bed.
He wants to gargle the ism jism.
Why can't you just explain it for free, Dave? How am I making kids less safe? This man's dumb. This is a dumb man. This is a very,
Yes, it is a very soy-filled dumb man.
very, very dumb man.
I
Now
see
people-
no melons,
Thank you guys
saggy or
for
otherwise.
always
I don't know who this
being
is.
supporters.
I'm being told
I've seen them
that
around.
she's cool.
I don't know.
And there are plenty other content creators that exist out there.
So apparently she quit YouTube after getting bullied by actual fandom.
And actually, people fact check this, and this is completely wrong. She quit for completely personal reasons. So, rip reverse goalpost wrong again. God, imagine you had one job like that and to suck at it so badly.
That are real and
I really cannot confirm nor deny that.
amazing, and I hope you find them, and I hope you support them like you guys have supported me. Don't forget, always support the small people, because their voices don't get heard because they're small. Show them support, show them love, help them grow as content creators. Don't send your videos of you jerking off to women unless they ask for it.
Yeah, you better ask for it.
I would
woman.
say don't do it even if they ask for it, because they'll probably leak it. Or
yeah,
they
make
could.
them beg for it.
Just
That's a weird thing to say, by the way.
be yourselves. Don't let anyone tell you who you are. Don't let anyone try to dictate anything you do, as long as you just be a.
That is exactly why people like DP are never going to dictate how I do my content or what content I do.
I don't want to
Why are we
dictate it.
always getting owned by him?
I don't want to
Shit.
dictate it. I want you to keep doing it exactly how it is. Please. And don't stop. I was kind of sad when you
That's-
blocked me earlier. I'm like, oh. It's like
Not true. We want you to start reviewing the actual videos again.
when I was a
You
kid,
suck.
I had this toy car. It wasn't a remote control car. You just turned it on the bottom and it would like take off. And you could put it in tracks and stuff. And I did it in the street one time and it went down the sewer. And I was really sad because I lost my toy. And that's how I felt today when Sturgis blocked me. And they came back.
Aw. Sturge.
Just don't be an asshole. Just when it comes to like,
Great advice. Great advice.
all right, guys. See you guys later.
So that was a good buy stream from that person, Saggy Melons.
That person.
Moving over to Josh Friedmaster, who thinks, because Angel Studios, the people who created a certain movie that
I
we
think
cannot
it's
talk
Fried Master.
about on YouTube, unless or something will happen, says that the Rippaverse movie will go nowhere because Eric will want full creative control. No shit. I would think most people who actually care about their properties would want full creative control of how your property is used.
Yeah, and
Critics
the movie company wouldn't want to fucking pony up for Eric July to direct a movie. They would want to take the movie and then fucking run with it. They probably want him to be on set.
Oh yeah, he would probably be like a consultant. They probably wouldn't even let him write it. He'd be like a consultant.
Rip it to shreds. No one cares about critics. They're paid shills. They're paid by corporations to give good reviews for the most part.
You know, when Sylvester Stallone made Rocky, he had Chuck Wepner, the guy that the Rocky story was based on, there as a consultant, even though it wasn't technically a biopic, it was just like based on a true story. But he was going to give him a cameo in the first Rocky movie, but he was such a pain in the ass that he just kind of like fired him. So,
damn.
Yes.
Most of them are anyway. Also, I doubt theaters will even let Angel Studios release another movie unless they get that desperate. Why would they not allow them to release another movie when people are going to watch the movie? People are paying to watch the movie. It's a movie.
Have you heard the theory that these movies are being sold out, but nobody's actually going? And people with like interest in this film succeeding are just buying out the theaters so that like it does bigger numbers. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's leftist propaganda.
I don't believe that's true.
Well, that's what people are claiming, that the Sound of Freedom is being sold out and nobody are showing up to the theaters.
I'd have to see something other than quote unquote people saying it. Like, let's see some hard evidence.
People talking about things is still worth talking about, right? Like, we have to figure out if that's
depends
true
on what
or
it
not.
is. It has to. No, I don't agree with that overall. Like, that's not like a blanket truth. People talking about things isn't always worth talking about.
We're not talking about a blanket, though. We're talking about this movie in particular possibly being sold, empty theaters being sold because somebody with a lot of money wants to see this movie do good for a particular reason.
I'd have to see some sort of evidence because I don't know.
Movie that didn't have a huge budget and made a huge profit in return.
Because at the end of the movie, they're asking you to buy tickets, right? They're giving you a QR code to buy tickets. I wonder if people with controlling interests in this particular film doing well are just buying out hella tickets the same way people are suggesting the ISOM comic book is being bought out by one person buying multiple copies.
I don't necessarily believe that either. Like, I'd have to...
These are rumors going around. Suggested rumors, alleged claims.
They sound like bullshit to me. Show me some evidence.
Since Josh Friedmaster, Mr. Businessman that I shouldn't be listening to. It's like, dude, just stop while you're ahead. We got pop counterculture. Again, do not interact or any of those things on any other social media.
Why does he say that? Does he think he's going to get in trouble if, like, one of his people like goes and does something?
Maybe he has a code of ethics because he's a moral person.
Oh, is he?
He just wants to remind his fans not to act like the devilish DP fans.
Just let them talk, and we'll talk about it in the comment section down below.
Yeah, he's so moral. I love the way he says trans kids aren't real.
Well,
gay kids are just groomed by their parents.
We can be moral, and we can love God, and we can love Christ, and we can hate everybody else. It's fine.
Get right into it. So we got Lawrence Gilmer, 210LG, shout out. Go follow him on Twitter. Go follow him on YouTube. He has a podcast called, Emperor. I think it's called Emperor's Crown.
You know what? It is funny that he tells people not to interact with us. But then while he was all butthurt earlier on Twitter, he was tagging all his buddies to like come and try and gang pile on me, and none of them showed up.
Something like that.
He needed your help, Ben.
And he makes some dope ass music, so go follow him.
Well, look at where he's at.
Okay.
And he's standing
again. I do not knock him for that. I do not knock him for being successful. That is not anything I would attack him for.
But that's what I'm. But so where's the thing is? So you're mad because he doesn't have a similar mindset. So what mindset should a black person have? That's the question.
I'm not. First of all, I'm not.
Remember, this is a guy who called Eric July that famous uncle at one point, and
Uncle Dong
had no regrets. He stood by it completely. He stood by.
Oh, uncle, kind of like uncle dad, maybe. Auntie mom, and Uncle Dad.
Completely for calling Eric July that famous uncle.
I'm not mad at him for simply having a different mindset than me. What I criticize him for is manipulating his audience, right, to keep them in a consistent state of anger and angst in order for him to profit off of their anger.
I don't even care about that. I just think they're dumb and they can't explain why they like the book. And rather than doing that, they just attack anyone who says they don't like it.
Anita Sarkeesian wanted her audience angry too. Think about it.
So essentially, he's telling people that the comic book industry is dog shit. The comic book industry is terrible. They're putting out terrible material. They're putting out material that is essentially propaganda. And you're mad about that?
That would all be fine. That would all be fine if
Was that his computer?
it wasn't ideological.
It was his
fact-based.
bog disc
But
rewriting.
It's 100% fact-based considering he buys the comic books he talks
That's like a notification alert on Windows. I always make sure to turn all of those off when I get a new computer or like reinstall an operating system or something.
Yeah, what the fuck, Sturgis? You don't know how to run your own computer. you
Amateur
stupid piece of
hour.
shit.
Amateur
You dumb
hour
fuck
with
idiot piece of
Sturgis.
Shit.
about. He shows the facts of the dying comic book industry constantly because he's a very transparent person. About
He's a transparent? Did he just say Eric July is a transparent?
Yeah, he's proud.
everything.
it's not. The stuff he says, a lot is when it comes to movies that I can actually speak of, is factually untrue or at best half true. Right? So that's my beef with him. The fact that he is
I wanna just like troll Sturgis and post out of context clips like that and be like, Sturgis admits Eric July is a transparent. And then him take it all seriously, be like, Eric July not a transparent.
that's also
And yet you never prove the contrary to what you're saying. You never prove what you're actually saying is true.
so much that he disagrees with me, because there's plenty of people who disagree with me that I don't even fucking talk about, right? It's the fact that he's using something that I personally really care about, film, and the worst thing is he's presenting all his like things in a dishonest way or at best.
So this guy's he kind of annoys me too, even though he's a detractor, because he's pretending to be all virtuous about this shit. He's not. Yeah, I'm so bothered about how they lie. It's like, okay, why do you care about these people lying and not everyone else who lies? Why is it only these specific people?
That's half on
Maybe
it.
he hasn't caught everybody else yet.
And all of it is just to manipulate his audience. It's just to get them riled up and angry so that they'll watch the next video and they'll get more angry, and then all of a sudden they're in this weird
That's the grift. That's literally all of these manosphere, all these feminists, everybody that wants you to get mad at something, wants you to get mad, so you take all rationale out and you follow them to the answer. They're trying to sell you on a problem so they can then sell you the solution.
And Sturgis is piggybacking off of that. So like Eric July,
he thinks he's helping the problem. He thinks he's one of those sweet white knight soldier boys.
yeah, because Eric July is getting his audience angry over the problem of like toxic wokeness in media, and Sturgis is getting angry over anyone who criticizes Eric July.
non-reality where
Chicanery says DP makes me mad at Mel Mac. Look, if you don't like Melanie Mac, that's okay. I know we push her down all the time.
I don't think
Shit
we've
on
ever
her.
mentioned her before now.
the fucking woke agenda is gonna bite their balls off or something, man. I don't
even know what that last part meant, but at the end of the day, he presents facts about what people say in Hollywood about their movies, what people say about the comic books in Hollywood, how they
The comic books in Hollywood?
don't give a crap about source material, that they want to just make their own stories up.
Okay, Hollywood has... It's only just recently where... When Hollywood movies are pulling from source material, it's way more true to the original vision than they used to be. You ever seen the Super Mario Brothers movie from the 80s? You know, have you ever seen the Masters of the Universe movie from the late 80s? Man, they used to
Hugh
take
Jackman has not been in the blue, yellow Wolverine costume yet.
They used to take all sorts of popular franchises and completely make them almost unnoticeable from the original. They're way closer to that now than they used to be. You're acting like it's a problem now when it's way better. I always wondered what it would look like if they did dress the X-Men like they look in the comics. I think it would be cool. I was honestly disappointed that didn't happen when I was a kid and I saw that.
Live action, you mean?
Yeah. Yeah,
because they're doing it for Deadpool 3, which is coming out.
Essentially, and he just calls out the nonsense that he sees. That's what a lot of people on YouTube do. They put their opinion out there to get their opinion out there, and then they put facts. They bring facts to give their opinion, and then they go, well, here's the facts, and then here's my opinion on this. Well, what will happen? That's really all he does. It's not a hard thing to do or a hard thing to conceptualize. But I guess it's hard for people that hang around actual fandom and Bob to have their own mindset.
Owned again.
He's saying other people are so involved in a fandom that they don't have their own mindset. He is saying this. I want to believe this is like satire or something.
We're looking at the real deal now, Ben.
Essentially a list of or summary of the goalpost shifts that we've had in the last year, over a year. Not reaching 1 million, it's late, packaging sucks, writing art suck, fans will demand refund, not sold.
Okay, I've never said any of these except for it's a cult. Because having dealt with these guys for a month or so, it is. In a way, they have like a dogma, and they have this like unquestioning cult-like mentality. It's obviously not like the Branch Davidians or something like that.
You just have to be really dumb to buy into this shit, and they have bought in. You've seen the numbers, you've seen the sales, they've bought in, and we're dealing with dumb people.
Comic shops, fake reviews, it's a cult, second book's late, won't reach 1 million again, site numbers are fake, and it just goes on and on and on and on. No one cares.
These woke moralist modern superhero movies like Shazam don't even include classic non-woke characters like Steamboat.
They should have had Steamboat. I was really hoping Steamboat was going to be in the new Shazam movie. That would have been sweet. They could have race swapped him too.
Swapped him into a race like with Flash? I don't think he could beat Flash in a race.
That's literally what it is. We'll talk about this next. This is actually the next thing I want to talk about is the bald-headed wench. We're going to go ahead and talk about the bald-headed wench next.
The bald-headed wench?
We're going to do this first. We got Gaia Bento saying, do we want to remind people what the quote Comicsgate broke me hashtag was about? Eric July, a failed rapper and comic book writer. He never insinuated that he was a rapper.
Yes he did. He was the rapper in a nu metal band. What the fuck are you talking about? He was the rapper guy, because like nu metal bands, a lot of times they'll have like a singer and a rapper and then like all the guys in the band and sometimes a DJ. And he was the rap guy in a nu metal band.
So he was a ghostwriter.
No. I can literally pull up I would pull up one of his music videos right now if I didn't get a copyright claim for it. Do you not even know? I was about to ask him too. I was about to be like, what's your favorite Eric July song? Almost banking on the fact that he wouldn't even know the name of one of them.
You mean he didn't even read the comic book that talked about the song that Eric July was in?
Yeah, and that's why there's like a nu metal band in ISOM 1. They kind of tease it. There's two metal bands. There's like the traditional looking metal band, and then there's like almost like Limp Bizkit looking band in it.
And he made a mixtape that was dope as hell.
No, he was in a fucking actual band that had albums and shit. Anyone can look this up.
Failed comic book writer? I don't think so. Making over $5 million in 2 books is not exactly what I would call a failed comic book writer. Has resorted to the grift of whining about Twitter drama on YouTube. It's called monetizing your hate.
His band was called Backwards with a Z at the end. Backwards.
That's cool.
You don't understand how that works. This was after he said "cull the herd" in his own words. He didn't think twice as to
he was also in a band called Fire from the Gods.
It would be referring to him and the creator of Deadpool, who doesn't get any.
Backwards build themselves. I'm reading this off of Wikipedia. It says Backwards build themselves as the libertarian rage against the machine. We're the libertarian version of this socialist band.
Wouldn't that be Rage for the Machine?
Yes.
Residuals from any merchandise nor the movies that feature the character. If Eric July pitched his quote Ripperverse to any major studio, he won't be getting his baby back, nor he'll see any money from it. That's why he's grifting. He's a broken mess from a toxic industry. So because I'm independent, I'm grifting. Holy F. I thought he was replying to something about Eric. This is just an organic breakdown out of nowhere. Beautiful. Yeah, it's called living rent-free in people's heads. It's essentially what I'm doing in some people's heads right now.
What are you doing?
Where do you, Jones, get your butthurtedness towards Young Ripper from? It's relentless and shoddy.
Oh yeah, they call other people drones too, but they literally
He's having a barbecue in our heads rent free.
They have memes that they keep to show like, oh, you haven't read the book.
Rage for the lower age of consent.
I know it's not from anywhere good, but I'm just curious.
Sicko.
Jealousy, envy. Eric made more than $5 million by not playing by established rules that at this point are archaic and nonsensical. People like you ought to be following his lead. And I don't think he would go to a major studio to do a movie. He'd probably go to someone like Josiah Rises at the Epicverse to do the Ripperverse, not some major studio that will essentially try to buy his rights out. He's smarter than that. But of course, he responded by saying, I've never understood this, quote, failed rapper tag because it operates as if being a rapper was some career I legitimately pursued. Haha, I'm a metal guy that happens to be able to spit, and I certainly wouldn't call this failing. So, alternative new artist, number 1, Heat Seekers, number 2, hard rock, number 5, rock, number 11, rap, 12, independent label, 14.
I did a tweet earlier where he was like, my fan base thinks I'm cool. And I responded to it, and his response, what? I posted it, and like 2 minutes later, he's like, this didn't get any likes. It was like literally
Damn.
2 minutes.
Damn, getting called out, Ben.
I got called out, oh no.
The Sturgis flame of passion burns bright tonight, but not as bright as the flames of actual mania.
Oh, we'll get there. We'll get there.
For $5 on Patreon to watch me demolish the quitter known as Ruby Jules Benjamin Pie. You should replay my promo from the last episode.
You don't run the show here, Big Diesel.
Overall digital, 43. Top current, 68. Overall physical, 123, which...
It's just funny because, like, 2 minutes later, he's like, ha ha, you got 0 likes on it.
Not a lot of people buy physical media as far as, like, music, so... But now we're going to move over to Miss Ball-Headed Wench over here, Vicky.
I don't know who this is.
Excuse me, Kara, did you really just send out an email with the subject line early fulfillment to let people know you were going to start shipping ISOM 2 on the originally scheduled ship date? That is not early fulfillment, by the way. It's an estimated fulfillment date. And the campaign ends on August 27th. So typically when these campaigns end is when, you know, something like this anyway. This is when it would actually ship out on the 27th when it comes to Air July. But I digress. To which Cara Lynn, in her awesome fashion of being calm and collected and not trying to be mean to people, because she's not that type of person.
Can you imagine Astute / Eric July as new Branch Davidians? They'd be called the Branch Isomeans, and instead of stockpiling guns they'd stockpile groups of 246 toothpicks or some shit.
It's a lot of toothpicks.
Yeah.
Sounds like my cult.
I understand that you have beef against the company, but don't come at me with your attitude. You and I have literally never interacted, and this is not a great first impression. The campaign doesn't end until next month, so technically this is early fulfillment. We could wait until it ends, but you are choosing not to do so and begin getting orders out because it is going to take some time to get them all out the door. If you have an order in and would prefer for me to put a hold on it until after August 27th, I'd be happy to do so, but I doubt that is the case. If you want to have a problem with something, go for it. Throwing a fit over something like that is honestly pretty childish. Well, this is the same person that said there were creases in the book.
What?
So, which they weren't. But go off and spend your...
What do you mean, like creases in the book that they got? How do you know?
...your life getting bent out of shape. Totally based. This is actually... no, it's not early. It's doing the bare minimum for on-time fulfillment. Lay off the hair dye. It's affecting your brain. I'm sorry to hear that being transparent with our customers and keeping on our...
I love how we can see all the ones that he liked.
...projected timeline upsets you enough to be...
I think this woman, Kara, actually works for Eric July.
...nasty to a stranger. Because, of course we had this dummy. It was initially supposed to come out in Q1 and Q2. No, that's when it was supposed to launch, which it launched in Q2, dummy. If I recall correctly, I'm sorry if you have a bad job that makes you have to say someone's throwing a fit when they're merely pointing that out. They're not. That must really suck to have a job where you have to compromise yourself. ETA for launch, by the way. You said come out. Well, come out. Yes. It came out in June, I believe, is when ISOM 2 launched, was June. So, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about? Like, why are we even watching it at this point? He's just reading other people's bullshit comments and saying, what are you talking about? What are you doing? He's not even adding anything to this barely anything fucking shit that he's reading in the first place.
It's like the goalpost shifts just always got to be shifted.
Actual Mania tonight, $5 and above. Join Patreon now if you're not already a patron.
He said the goalpost shifts just always have to be shifted.
Fulfillment during the middle of the pre-order campaign would be the definition of early fulfillment. Shout out to Bruce Flash in the chat of Eric July's live streams. 5-head failed cashier, her parents' dog grooming business that never achieved anything in her life and is living in an attic of a Goodwill shop says, what now? Did you order a book with what little money you have, or are you trying to concern troll? No, she's always trying to concern troll.
By the way, I've noticed that when it comes to people he likes, their body weight, he's not so much concerned with them. Have you noticed that?
I wonder why.
Yeah. Because I went through like his Twitter likes and everything. We'll wrap this up at this last piece here, and then we're gonna do our Patreon private show in about 8 minutes here.
They'll continue to complain about other people's success because they're not seeing the same type of success that they would like to be seeing, that Eric July is seeing.
That Eric July is seeing.
Well, they're not seeing it, so they have to bitch about it.
He's in love,
and it's all out of jealousy and envy. So at the end of the day, I'm gonna continue to make the content I'm making. No one's gonna stop me from making the content.
Keep making it.
And the goalpost shifts are going to continue throughout the entire fulfillment process into ISOM 2's end, like the campaign end, and into ISOM
2's end, and he's like, oh, I mean like the campaign end.
3, and into Alpha Core number 1, and into Yaira number 1. It's all gonna be the same old song and dance from these weirdos on the internet because they see someone having success that they don't like, that have different opinions that they don't like, that look a different way that they don't like.
Hold on. He's talking about other people and not himself?
Yeah.
So
we keep judging people who look a different way, man.
Yeah, they look a different way that they don't like. They have other opinions that they don't like.
That don't toe the weirdo line. We'll say leftist line.
They don't toe the line. The ISOM is cool and it's a great book line, right?
So, because he doesn't go through the proper channels.
Someone in the chat said, does this dude actually work at ISOM? No. He's just a fanboy. His entire channel content is centered around defending Eric July from people who are critical of his work. And that's it.
He's a Comicsgate guy. He loves counterculture comics.
That the mainstream does, they're mad about it. And Eric July is just going to continue to win. And I'm going to continue to win because weirdos on the internet ain't going to stop me. Thank you all for checking out this video. I really do appreciate all the new subscribers, returning subscribers, new viewers, returning viewers. If you do like this video, hit the like button. Comment below what you feel about all this. Again,
I'm going to comment below.
Interact or comment with anyone I've shown in this video. Leave all of your comments in the comment section down below. Subscribe for more content. Hit the bell for notifications. Set the bell to all. That way you get notifications anytime I post a new video. And I will see you all on the next one. Peace.
We're all so mad. We're mad. We're so mad. Super mad. So yeah, I say if you want to interact with this guy, go ahead.
Doesn't matter what you say, Ben. He told everybody watching to leave comments in his video. He said to leave the comments, not us.
If you have comments on his video, go over to his video and leave comments. He
told you to.
Yep.
He just told you to.
Yeah, like what you think, like however what you think. He's renowned Zero. He said we failed to send people to his stream. It's like, how did we fail? There were people in your stream.
Yeah, but then he banned them. We lose again.
That's how we failed. I lost when he blocked me too. Bastards. How do we even make a comeback from that? All right, so guys, in a few here, we're gonna leave and do our Patreon private show. It's Actual Mania 46. Actual Mania 46. Main event tonight, myself defending my championship against Star Spangled Luchador. We have an absolutely amazing card coming up tonight. Our opener is some guy named Egghead. That doesn't really matter. He's going up against the Mad Clown, the famous Mad Clown. And then we've got, I think his name's Captain something, going up against a mystery opponent. And then we've got the World Tag Team Champions, Flock of Possum and Rat Lord, known as Vermin Supreme, defending their title against Lowbrow Jester and the Necromancer. We've got the King of Games Championship on the line, Big Diesel defending his title against Ruby Jules. We also have the Cringerweight Championship match coming up, Jespro defending her title against Drake Dragsaw.
Yeah.
And then the world title match here on the screen right now, right before you.
Star Spangled Luchador about to leave tonight's main event with a target on his head.
What do you mean?
Well,
are you making a prediction? Is that what you're doing?
He's going to have a target on his head.
You said after, though.
Yeah.
So you're making a prediction?
I'm just saying.
What are you saying? I don't know what you're saying. You're not being clear about what you're saying. Why would he have a target on his head?
Because this man has been waiting to take you on, and he's been locked up in a feud with you.
He's not going to win.
For months.
He's a loser.
For months.
He stole a gimmick I abandoned years ago. How cute.
And this is the be-all, end-all, and tonight he's going to have a target on his head, because if he wins or loses, he's done, stuck in this program with you. He's been in a program with you for, what, 6 months?
We've been kind of, dancing around each other, and then we faced off in a triple.
He's been pussyfooting with you for 6 months.
Well, we did have our triple threat.
Tonight, win, lose, or draw, I think he's going to have a lot of people coming after him with or without that title, because he's been locked up for too long, and it's time for the flag to fly.
$5 will get you in. I have it linked right there in the chat. You can literally just click on that. It'll take you directly to where the link is posted. If you're not already a patron, you can sign up. It's $5. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff coming up next month that you're not going to want to miss out on. We're expanding the Patreon content, and you don't want to miss that. It's going to be unbelievable. Sign up now. $5 gets you a front row seat to all of the action. We got about 1 minute left before we go into it. It's going to start almost immediately. So Don't miss a single moment of tonight's show. For your own good. Do you have any other predictions or anything? I guess we'll wait until...
Zero predictions.
Zero predictions.
New tag team champions tonight.
New tag team champions?
That's my prediction.
Wow. 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 That's quite the prediction. I guess we'll see what happens. We are going to go do this now. We will see all of you over there. You should go do yourself a favor. It's always a fun time. Once you show up, you get to vote on the winners of each confrontation. Do it now. We'll see you there.